thank you for joining the Northern Miner here at the annual PDAC convention in Toronto. Quebec's Abitibi Gold Belt continues to draw explorers in hopes of making the next big discovery. One such company is Nuvau Minerals, and CEO Peter van Alpen is here to tell us more about it. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Thank you.
All right. So for those of our viewers less familiar with the company, please give us a brief introduction and set it up for us. What's the underpinning asset?
So the underpinning asset is the Matagami Camp in Quebec. So this is a past producing camp. Copper, zinc has been the primary commodities coming off it. It was producing for about 60 years up until 2022. It was in the hands of Glencore, Xstrata before that, and before that Noranda. So past producing camp, we've been able to take this over from Glencore. We've got an exceptionally large land package there, and we're in a great part of the Abitibi. So a great part to be exploring and potentially, and not potentially, but eventually putting the mine back into production.
Excellent. All right. So you do have a partnership, or rather an earn-in agreement in place with Glencore. Please walk me through some of the key points on that agreement. What do you need to do?
Yeah, so the earning agreement was basically an exploration spend in there over 3 years. We're about 3 weeks away from completing that, so that will be our first step there. We've spent $30 million that we've invested in the property over the last 3 years. So that ends at the end of March. And then we'll go through a process of basically closing on the rest of the agreement and over the next few months, and that will first see us taking ownership of all the claims. There's a final payment of $10 million to Glencore, half of which can be in equity, half in cash. And then once we've completed that step is then we've got the option to acquire the infrastructure, and then that is a further $5 million in cash or equity, and then we will see us as owning 100% of the property. We'll own the infrastructure. We will be the operator there. Glencore will retain a 2% NSR on the property, as well as the rights to the offtake on the base metals there.
All right. So what kind of infrastructure is in place, this being a brownfields development?
Yeah, so the key piece of infrastructure there is the mill. So we've got a mill, it's 3,000 tonne a day, 2 float circuits, great condition. Glencore did a great job in keeping in good condition all the way up to the end. So we've got that's a permitted operating site up until June of 2022. And then added to that is that we've got the Brace-McMcLeod mine, which is the last mine that was operated there. Glencore didn't quite finish mining it all out. By the time they left there is that there's still a resource left on that, but we've also been able to discover an extension to the Brace-McMcLeod mine. And so that, together with other exploration work we're doing, as well as resource that we've got on the property, is that gives us an opportunity for the one side of what we're looking at, which is a production restart, get the property generating revenue, and that ultimately is going to help us drive this massive exploration opportunity that we have on the property as well. So it really is a story that is both production as well as exploration. We really fit into both of those categories.
So does Matagami currently have a resource, or are you working off a historical resource at this point? So
when we acquired the property, is that out on the western side of the property in what we call the Quebec complex, is that there's in all categories, there's a resource there of about 10.6 million tonnes, and that's about 2.3% copper equivalent. So there's that the Greenfields resource sitting over there. But as I mentioned, in the Brace-McMcLeod mine, which was built by Glencore, operated by Glencore, is that there's currently within the old Glencore resources about 1 million tonnes left. But as I said, we've discovered an extension to that, so we're currently drilling that to add resource to the Brace-McMcLeod mine, and that will give us an opportunity for a quicker restart. Production will come quickly because the infrastructure's there, the mine is permitted. Our discovery hole there was about 16.4 meters of massive sulfides, 14% zinc and 2.7% copper. So a phenomenal hole that we've got there. So we continue to drill there to extend that, and it's basically open to the west and open to depth.
In a little bit more granular detail, what meterage are you budgeting for drilling this year, and exactly how does the plan work?
Yeah, so typically in Matagami you drill in that areas that we drill in a lot in the winter. we need frozen ground in a lot of these areas. There's water swamp area there, so we're looking to drill in frozen conditions. So this first quarter of the year we've been drilling probably round about 15,000 meters that we've been drilling there. We've currently got 3 drill rigs on the property. And so we're doing some of the Bracemac drilling. We're drilling on some potential VMS type targets as well out on the west, as well as we're doing some conversion drilling and metallurgical sample drilling on the Quebec complex. So really to advance both the exploration side plus then the production restart side as well, getting to feasibility.
All right. So tell me a little bit more about the team behind the company and the exploration plans.
So in terms of the team that we've got there and it's an important part, and I think it's a part that every investor should take careful note of, is, we are a team that's made up. My background is production. I've been fortunate to work with people. We've built mines. I was part of FNX, part of Lakeshore Gold. We've built mines, we've operated mines, and we've learned how to do them on these type of difficult deposits. In the junior space. On the exploration side, Gilles Roy, who's our Director of Exploration. Gilles is 35 years almost in Glencore, retired from them. He was exploration manager on this property for over 11 years. He discovered the last 2 deposits here. So we've got, and then extended into the team, our CFO, Steve, we've got a team that is really very well rounded, and what we say we want to do here, we've actually done it elsewhere. And so, I think that's a key part. We're not just talking about something that we would like to do, we're talking about things that we've done.
All right, fair point. Then the company also recently completed an IPO. Can you please tell me how that was received and who came in perhaps as your major backers?
So we completed that. We've only been trading now for just over 2 months. So it's early stages for us. Going into the go public is that we had, management board owned about a quarter of the company. Ewan Downey, Mike Vuitton are 2 of our large shareholders. And then going into it prior to the go public is that we've got BD Capitals in there. We've got the Case Depot CDPQ. We've got Sprott Group of companies. We've got Libra. Those are I think I've got all the major ones there. And then on the go public, actually the Case came in. They were a large. They did a third of our financing on the go public round. So we've been able to attract. Quebec is famous for the fact that they've got these Quebec funds. So we worked with them. They came in. We're busy working with Investment Quebec. So really we're getting support from the Quebec groups here, which is really nice to see.
Nice. And then, so with your assets came a lot of historical data. What kind of techniques or platforms have you deployed to help ease the discovery process?
Yeah, so there's actually quite a lot, and probably a lot more than we can talk about in this short time. We've just made, and we can go and look at our press release. We put out a press release today, now on the 4th of March, which is essentially using sonic drilling, testing the overburden, the till anomalies there, and we've got an incredible gold anomaly that we found using sonic drilling now, mapping out the tills. Probably, we believe, the highest possibly in the history of the Abitibi. So very exciting, because this is a base metal mining camp, but there's gold there as well, where we sit in the part of the Abitibi. But we've also, we've got a massive set of data from that we acquired with the property, geophysics, geochemistry. We've got a huge set of data on a massive land package. And so we've been working, looking at current technology, looking at something like artificial intelligence and saying, what, can we actually put that to use? Not necessarily, it's not going to, I don't think it's going to replace the geologist, but we've been working with Verify, and Verify has taken our data. It's the largest set of data that they have, and we, just as early as today, we were looking at some of the more current, the results, or the working of that data, the human intelligence coming together with the artificial intelligence, and we're starting to see, we saw something interesting today, which is, we believe it's a target, and the computer said it's a target as well. So, we'll be looking to try and drill some of these, because really it's a very large land package, lots of opportunity for it, with a lot of data, and that data is complex, and it needs to be put into the hands of the geophysicists to really guide us in terms of, we've got over 80 targets already available to us. Which one do you start with, right? What's the priority on that? So that's one of the things that we're looking at the AI, to be able to, with Verify, to be able to try and identify what some of those targets could be.
Nice. So Verify AI's platform helps to prioritize drill targets.
That's what we're looking to get out of it, right? Is that, you know, it's putting a tool into the hands of the geophysicist just to be able to do more work faster, look at more options and opportunities, and then at the same time taking advantage of the machine learning there, is that it's learning from everything else around it. And, you know, the more we do it, I presume the smarter it's going to become.
Right. Yeah, we'll keep a close eye on your progress. All right, so just spell out for us, what are the key value-driving catalysts and their associated timelines as over the next 12 months?
So I think one of the things which is maybe not the sexiest thing in this, but it's a huge value driver for us, is the fact that we complete the earning with Glencore. We then own this asset 100%. By later this year, we then own the infrastructure as well. So that becomes a huge, a value driver for us, in that we've de-risked the property from that perspective. And then now, we currently got 3 drills running. We're expecting to be able to put some results out, continue putting some results out on the drilling side. And then at the same time, we're advancing, upgrading the PEA to include not just the Quebec complex, but also to include the Brace-McMcLeod. And so really building that all together to really demonstrate how there's the value in the production restart, and how that, again, we can use that to drive the exploration potential, not just for base metals, but I'm quite happy to say as of today we can talk about, you know, gold exploration as well on this property. And it's not just a concept, we've got results out today to demonstrate the potential of that in one of our first holes we drilled on the property.
That's very exciting, given that gold continues to trade at the upper tier of its range, right? Any other important things that we should mention before we finalize this?
No, I think you know, we like I said, we're in Quebec. Quebec has been an amazing place to work. It's my first time working in Quebec, and you know, everything that people say about Quebec being a great jurisdiction, it's true. We've got a great property there. We're starting to attract some people. We're adding people to our team. You know, it's a good time to be in mining. It's a good time to be in Quebec, and we've got the community is supportive. So no, we're excited about a lot of work to be done in the next 12 to 24 months here. But you know, there's a lot of opportunity here for growth. And you know, go and have a look. Like every junior, we all believe we're undervalued. We've just started trading, so. You know, the typical story is that we had to, you know, lots of sellers in the market initially, but that seems to have dried up. Now it's out there getting the message out to get more people buying the stock there, and I think you'll see the stock take off.
Volume begets more volume, right?
100%.
All right. There you have it, Nuvau Minerals CEO Peter van Alpen. Thanks for making time for us.
Thank you very much.